Hello traders, it is Sunday afternoon. This is Gil with GTraderPro, and just putting together the weekly Sunday preview for the upcoming week. I had a chance this afternoon to sit back and take a look at the big picture once again from what occurred this week, what we talked about last Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, and then take a look going into this new upcoming week. And so what we said last Sunday, if you've been following the series, is that based on last Thursday and Friday, the market was putting in bottoms. The S&P, the Nasdaq, the Russell, and the YM were all putting in daily bottoms. And we expected that to advance. Even if they pulled back a little bit more on Monday, we said we would see an advance into the remainder of the week. And we certainly saw that across all four indices. We'll take a look at them in a moment. We've also been talking here on a weekly basis. I've been talking about higher new all-time highs into July and August, that this would continue on, that they weren't done yet, and that has certainly been the correct analysis. So we've been talking now for several months, going back into May, June, that July, August would continue to see markets, equities march higher, making new all-time highs, and we've given out very specific prices along the way. It has not been just, hey, we're going up. No, we've given you some very specific numbers along the way, and we're going to do that again this afternoon. So without any further ado, let's get right into the four equities that we use here, the four indices. Let's start out with the Nasdaq today. Now again, here's Friday, here's that bottom that we spoke about, and we can see here that the market indeed obviously rallied up through the course of the week. We did have one nice pullback on Tuesday, and then up we went on Thursday and Friday. So very nice. We're just off the all-time highs. The chart suggests we're going to make new all-time highs this week, probably early in the week, Monday or Tuesday is my thinking. And one of those slight new all-time high levels that the market should reach up to is about 23,870, 23,009, right about here. So we should see a higher high, certainly. Nothing tremendous, but there it is. A slightly more significant number we can reach this week, perhaps again early in the week, Monday and Tuesday, 24,120. There's a lot of indications here this week that 24,120 is going to be one of the new all-time high levels that we attempt. Now, each of these, when reached, normally is going to give the market some pause and perhaps a reaction. So we may get a little bit of a temporary reaction off of the 870 number before moving up to 120. But I do feel strongly that 120, 24,120 is in the cards. I don't mind also saying that, listen, this is not the end of it. We will continue higher. And a significant number that I see based on the chart is up at 26,000. Now, again, that's not just a roughed up number. That is a very specific new all-time high based on what has happened here since April 7th. So very important occurrence on April 7th that is generating this energy, this power to do what we've been doing all summer long. Certainly no dog days of summer this year. Very nice movement and continue to march higher. We will continue to do that. So again, this week I'll be looking for very early, perhaps tonight into Monday, 875, followed by later in the week, the 120 level. This can happen very quickly in the first couple of days of the week. First 2 days of the week they are going to be very important days for some potential culmination up here. So we'll watch. If we get a really nice volatile push up for the first couple of days, we may very well mark a top and then get another pullback. A pullback area, very important on the downside, would be 23,330. We utilized this level, by the way, on Thursday for traders who were in the room. Late Thursday afternoon, I said the market would firm on 23,300, 329. The market would bottom, and it would rally into the close. And it did hit that level late in the afternoon. I think it was about 2:30 in the afternoon. In the last 2 hours of the day, the market rallied strongly, and that continued on up on Friday. This was handed out in our to our Discord members, so you may want to check that out. But that's it. Nasdaq higher, focal point Monday, Tuesday for these higher prices, And if we can culminate and reach one of these, this in particular 24,120, very well may signal the top. This would be a level that we would be interested in on a potential short play. So timing along with price, very important. Monday, Tuesday, in a very important time coming up in the equities. So there's the Nasdaq. Likewise, the S&P did exactly what we said last Sunday. Friday would mark a bottom. Even if they went a little bit lower on Monday, they did not. They made a higher low, and we went up. Now again, the S&P, very important period of time coming up here between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So we've got an important 3-day period of time for the S&P. It's going to go higher. The first price we'll touch is very nearby. We came up shy of it on Thursday or Friday, and that is 64.40. That will then be followed by 64.60. Now these will be instrumental as the market goes higher. We do have the very strong likelihood that we'll be up at 64.95 to 64.97. Also in that 3-day period of time, 64.60, and of course just below the all-time high. This will be very important depending on the timing of when they get it. I believe the S&P will use most of that 3-day period, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, to advance. And as long as we stay above 63.82 right now, we're in really fine shape. So again, going higher early in the week, Monday to Wednesday, the very important period of time for the market. We're coming off of that very important bottom that I talked about last Sunday afternoon when I put this video together. I told you the market would rally into this week, and we will continue to do that into the first few days of next week. So there you have it. We're bullish. We'll be buying pullbacks in the course of the next few days. Russell and the YM. Let's take a quick look at the Russell. Not as robust. Again, these two equities, these two indices have been the dogs, if you will. They've been trailing behind the Nasdaq and the ES. As long as we're closing above 22.19, and again, last Friday, bottom, rally into the week was the theme. The rally is not over. The Russell this week, again, into early week, say by Wednesday, should be up near 22.67. It has been a little bit of a trailer, like I said. That's where it should get to, 22.67. So again, it's not all that much. If we can get a strong close above 22.67, I project the Russell incoming sessions. It may take into next week, but I project up at 23.40. Lastly, for the four equity indices, we've got the YM. Again, very sluggish, really sideways more than up, but that's the bottom on Friday that I spoke about. Now, they did rally nicely on Monday, very much sideways since then. This market should rally back up to 45,000. You can see they got through 45,000 way back in the July 3rd time frame. Since then, they've been struggling, or they were struggling. Again, crisscrossed over 45,000 a couple of times. Really made this new high up here at 45.3 before this beautiful decline into the bottom. This was a great opportunity on the long side. They haven't done much with it. They should get back to 45,000 by the time Wednesday rolls around. So we would be buyers and look for advance into Wednesday. So again, could make for an options play or a swing trade, or at the very least a bias for the next few days on our intraday trading. So that's what we expect out of the YM along with the other three indices. So the bottom line is up into Tuesday, Wednesday, and that time frame, by the time Tuesday, Wednesday rolls around, we should see the market up at these elevated levels and potentially marking a top for another bit of a pullback. No massive decline, just pullbacks. And let's move on briefly to gold. I am very pleased with what I said about gold. I apologize, but I am extremely gratified by the gold move. I told you last Sunday afternoon, gold absolutely 100% was going to go to 3,500. If you listened to last Sunday's video, go back and replay it. I said it's just going to happen. And there it is. It happened on Friday. And as I suspected, they would not close above 3,500. So that was a beautiful, beautiful move. Here it is on Friday. It was the strong Friday close. Again, If you'd like to, go back and listen to last Sunday's video. I said that strong close indicated that 3,500 was absolutely going to be reached, and they just needed to stay above 34.10, worst case scenario 33.96, and you can see that they used these numbers on Monday and Tuesday, firmed on them, and then shot right up. What's going on that we could know that last Friday based on the close? Wouldn't we love to know? But there it is. It happened just as we expected. Some pullback is going to occur. We'll watch the pullback. I have nothing new on gold just at the moment, so I'm going to watch it early in the week, and perhaps I'll post a video early in the week once we see what Monday, Tuesday brings. But normally some pullback. I would not be surprised to see 34.40, 34.10 I should say, retested on the way back down, potentially the same 33.96. These numbers were very critical to reaching this price, and many times after reaching the price, the market will return back to those critical levels. So I would not be surprised to see that. I'd be interested potentially at going long again in gold, but very, very happy to see that completion. As with crude, we've been talking here for quite some time about some key prices in crude oil. One of them last week that I mentioned was that they were going to come down and test 65.15 again, and it was very critical what they did at 65.15. I mentioned that if we failed at any point in time at 65.15 to close daily below it, their first objective would be 63.40. We closed below it on Wednesday. 65.15 was closed below. You can see the kickback right up to that key price at 65.15, and then indeed on Friday we dropped and completed 63.40. Again, very gratifying. Not a huge move, but this is one that we've been watching at 65.15. This actually should signal that in coming sessions, crude will drop to $61. Again, if you've been following along with me here on Sundays for several weeks, you've known that $61 has been in my sights. We needed to see 65 break to begin the journey. The journey has begun, and until we get back above 65.15, we will believe that $61 is in the near-term future for the crude market. So we want to look for shorts. Our bias will be to the short side in crude early this week. We'll look for a bounce, but ultimately crude is going down to $61. By the way, the longer term, deeper into 2025, that longer term forecast, believe it or not, still sits at $48. So the long term outlook for crude for me is well lower at $48 and change. So there is your weekly preview for the upcoming week. Like I said, this last week was very good for us at GTraderPro, both in the room, in the live trading rooms, and in some of the daily calls that we've made. So I'm going to invite you once again to check out our website, GTraderPro.com. There you will also find a link to check out our Discord channel, GTraderPro. It is a completely free server. There are some membership options for you there in coming in. We have a morning daily brief, a G trade of the day, and our daily levels. So you can come in there, take a free trial, get those products, test out those products for 2 weeks. Come on into the server on Discord, GTraderPro. Check us out. Message me when you do, and I'll be happy to help you any way that I can. Again, check out the website, GTraderPro.com. Learn a little bit more about what we do, what we offer, and check out our other videos here on YouTube. Hope you've enjoyed this. Love to see you join us this week and check out what we're doing. We do most of our work here on an intraday basis, live in the trade rooms and in the Discord server, so you may be interested in that. And again, you can reach out to me there and ask me any questions you might like, and I'd be happy to address them there. So I'm looking forward to a great week. Hope you've had a great weekend. We're ready for Monday. It's going to be a very interesting early part of the week, looking for greater advance out of the 4 indices into Wednesday, likely put in a top, and then perhaps we begin a decline in the second half of the week, Thursday into Friday. We'll take a look, and we'll keep things updated. And I look forward to, again, seeing you at some point in time in our community. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great trading week.